Good evening, everybody. Monday morning quarterback episode 106, and I've missed you guys. Been 3 weeks, I believe. We've been playing replays. I got sick there and had to get feeling better, so I definitely feel a lot better now. Back in the shop full time. Came back last week, but was kind of part days until I worked up to it, and then was full days by the end of the week. So certainly happy to be back, feeling much better. Still a little sore, but pretty much back to normal, and happy to be back live. So since we've missed you, we've had some customers win some really big races, so I want to give shout outs to them. Chance Crum won the 600 and the mini sprint portion of the Clay Cup. That is a huge event on the West Coast, one we got to go to last year, didn't get to go to this year with all the rescheduling of things. So congratulations to Chance. He definitely deserved that race, and it's been one that's on his bucket list. I'm sure it is anybody who grew up racing in the Northwest. That's like the crown jewel of micro sprint racing in the Northwest and on the West Coast for that matter. It's a race I raced at as a kid. So super cool for Chance to win those. Not easy to do, and happy to be a small part of his success there. Tyler Courtney went back-to-back, winning the last two USAC National Midget races that were on the schedule. Alex Bright won the prelim at the Non-Wing World Challenge and the High Bank Hustle, and I believe he podiumed both of those finales too. So he's been running good with his hypercar. We've been working really hard on our hyper package as far as the micro sprint stuff's concerned, and he's been a big part of helping us with that. Him and his brother helping us refine that. So I'm glad to see those guys have some success. Logan Seavey kicked off Indiana Sprint Week with a win for us, and then the last two nights he was quick time both nights, so they're definitely finding their stride. Logan got a little banged up during Midget Week and had to sit out some races, and frankly, with all the races they missed at the beginning of the year, Logan doesn't have a ton of sprint car starts, so that kind of got them a little behind, but now that they're getting to race, they're starting to catch their stride and get in mid-season form, so glad to see those guys running good. And then Kyle Cummins did Kyle Cummins things at Tri-State last night to cap off Sprint Week. Kind of dominated the feature there. I don't know how much money he's hauled out of there the last 3 or 4 years, but it's definitely the lion's share. It's been a lot. So cool to see those guys have some success during Sprint Week. T-Bone and I were supposed to be on our way to PA Micro Week today, but with my health and the amount of work we have going on here, it just wasn't meant to be this year. So really bummed me out. I don't get to go to new racetracks a whole lot, and there was a bunch of new ones I was going to get to go to this week. So I'm sad to miss that, but definitely it's on the list for next year. Really the only thing that I struggle with at the moment is sitting. I feel pretty good standing, walking, but sitting for long periods of a time really hurts my incision where they took my gallbladder out. So no way I could have sat in the car and rode to PA. So bummed to be missing that, but I'm sure it'll go off good. I think maybe the first night tonight rained out, but the weather's looking better for the rest of the week, and so we wish good luck to all the guys out there using our products. And if there's anything we can do, any tech support we can give you, please don't hesitate to ask, because we're sad we're not there. So the other bit of exciting news since I've been gone is we have all systems are a go on our new building. So we were hoping to move in before winter, but it looks like kind of the time frame and the way things are lining out, it'll probably be early spring when it's all done and ready for us to move in, maybe February, March-ish. But that's moving forward, and so we're excited about that. That building's going to allow us to do a lot of things that we've always wanted to do at CSI, but maybe didn't have the room. And so we're really excited about that. So it'll be about double the space that we have now. Plus we have a bunch of rental units there, so it gives us room to grow for the future. So hopefully it's our last move ever, and it's our forever home. It's in Brownsburg, where we've always been. It's probably about 2 miles from where we're at now. It's right across the street from Spike Chassis, so there's some other racing stuff going on in there. And so we're definitely looking forward to that. So that kind of catches you guys up on what's happened here the last 3 weeks since I've been gone. Anybody that has any questions, fire away. More than happy to answer any questions you have. Racing related, tech questions, whatever. Go ahead and comment, and we will get those answered for you. This evening when I got back here after running home for dinner, I started the process of uploading. I believe we're like 3 episodes behind on YouTube, so we're getting all these uploaded to YouTube. For those of you who aren't Facebook folks, we'll have those up on YouTube. So this week, say you're supposed to be in PA Micro Week. That's not gonna happen with everything that's going on. Gonna go to Miami Valley for the Midwest Thunder this weekend. And so we're looking forward to that. And then kind of as far as I've gotten. We've got a lot going on here at the shop, so not sure what next week holds. Kevin, thanks. Glad to be back. Congratulations on your Clay Cup success. Sorry we didn't get to recognize it right after the fact, but super pumped for you guys. Steven, are we going to be going to ASCS Speed Week? We are not. That's not on the agenda this year. With everything that's going on, we're kind of keeping our travel a little closer to home. So next year we'll look at ASCS Speed Week, but this year it's not on our radar. We're going to stick a little closer to home and do that. So Eric, that's a Kevin question. When you copy a setup for a new one, is there any way to copy the notes also on Pit Logic? I'm guessing he maybe is typing some of his setup stuff in his notes and would like to copy it over. Bentley, thank you. We're looking forward to getting those built and to you. Ken Miller, thanks. Sorry I'm not out there at PA Micro Week. I'm pretty bummed to be missing that. That was one I was looking forward to all year. But hopefully there's some other big races we're going to get to here before the year's out. Still hopeful we're going to have a shootout and Chili Bowl and some of those other ones. Not sure what the West Coast stuff's looking like later in the year. Typically, we do a bit of a West Coast swing at the end of the year. If that doesn't happen, maybe we will get to Texas. So there you go. You ask and you receive. Kevin's on it. There's a big Pit Logic update that's coming some point this week. It has, gosh, a bunch of stuff. Shock comparison, where you can compare 2 shocks that are in your library side by side with one another. An angle finder feature, ability to add photos to setups, which is one I'm really excited about. So if I missed something, Kevin, you can comment. But yeah, a bunch of new Pit Logic updates coming this week. I can't imagine racing without it now. It makes things so easy. Anywhere, if you guys are racers like me, you're thinking about setup stuff all the time. And so I could literally be waiting in line at the grocery store and be like, oh yeah, I want to try that. Or what gear did I run? And I can just pull it right up on my phone, make a note, look at something. I get asked all the time, hey, what gear do you run here? Or what should we do with this and what should we do that? And it's so easy because my phone's always with me to open it and give them a good answer and not be like, I got to wait till I'm back at my shop at night to look at my notebook. So it's helped me out a bunch from a convenience standpoint. So Eric, you guys have a big quarter midget race. Is it this weekend at your track? Or yeah, is it? I think it might be this weekend. There's a couple big quarter midget races I would like to have taken Hudson to, but kind of got set back getting sick there. One of them is the, they're not calling it the Grands. It's like the Big Sky Nationals, but it's out in Montana, and I thought that'd be a fun family trip. But yeah, Dave. So being able to add photos to your setups is going to be awesome. I figure like at the end of the night, being able to take a picture of the track, attach a photo of your car, all sorts of things you can do to. You could take a picture of a something on your car you need to fix. Yeah, possibilities are endless. Oh, you just had it. How did that race go? Kevin, timelines on the X4. So the X4 is our new style canister shock that we showed at PRI, and we did a bunch of testing with it at the shootout, Chili Bowl. Mark Smith has won a mountain of races with it, and Kevin's been doing, and Chance have been doing some development with it. They actually won the Clay Cup with it. So that shock, as we continue to refine it and figure out what the best options were going to be for customers, it's actually, there is a two-way adjustable compression and rebound, and then a three-way where you can do high-speed compression as well as low-speed compression and low-speed rebound, and then a four-way where you can do all four. There's three different options of that shock. We are hoping to be able to start shipping those later this month. So we have the parts are slowly trickling in, and we should have everything back from Anodize here in the next couple weeks to start building the first production run of those. So we got a bunch of people that are excited about them and wanting to use them, guys that got to test them and want them back, and we only had a couple. One of them, we actually had three. One of them got tore up, and so we've been kind of moving them around to different people to get different feedback and get them on some different cars. So definitely looking forward to that. Oh, good. I'm glad your guys' race turned out good. I would love to have went to that. Hopefully we can get Hudson to Tulsa QMA at some point. That's a really cool track. Eric, are you plan on going to the Winter Nationals if they have it out in Las Vegas? Anybody else have any questions? Fire away. Happy to answer them. Now that I'm getting back to normal, we will get back to some scheduled topics starting next week. And I actually have that we recorded before all this happened, some more quarter midget tech videos, so we'll be getting those posted to our YouTube page this week. I go over how to scale the car, squaring the car. Those are separate videos. There's a video on the micron data I like to look at on quarter midgets, and then one just showing how I take care of my tires. So yeah, so we'll get those posted this week. You're going to have to, so everyone leaves you alone about it. Well, it's only the best quarter midget race of the year, so you definitely should go. Ken, when the track slicks off, what's the best way to use the bump rubbers? So when the track slicks off, we're trying to come up with a way to load the tire harder. And we can do that by applying more load to the tire. And so if we leave the torsion bars in that we have, our roll is going to be minimized because the track is slicked off, we're going slower, we don't have as much leverage. So it gives you the ability to go softer on torsion bar to initiate that roll. Now, when you go softer on bar, you're not generating as much load. But if that softer bar allows you to roll more, and then at some point in that travel, you get into the bump rubber, now that's where we're getting the load back to the tire. So the key is to time it where when it starts to get that increased load from the bump rubber, the car has enough mechanical leverage to stay there and stick the tire and not just bounce off of it. So that's kind of the concept. I'd be more than happy to talk to you more at length about your particular application. There's a couple different ways to do it. One of the things we found working really well on the micros is the bump spring, just because of its shorter installed height. The progressive kit works great if you have enough room, but on some of the micros it doesn't seem like we have enough room to make the progressive kit work, so the bump springs have worked really well. So you can get a dual rate spring effect because you're not going to get into that bump rubber until a certain part of the travel, and the key is timing when you get into it with packers and setting your bump height. So Brad, nobody that I know of has tried the progressive kit on the right front of a non-wing car. Personally, I like a stiff bar in the right front. I don't want it to roll over there. As a driver, when the car rolls on the right front non-wing, it gives me an uneasy feeling. As a mechanic, I never like to see a car with the attitude rolling on the right front. I always wanted to see the right front up. So it's not something that I would recommend trying. That's my take on that. Evan, advantages and disadvantages of a base valve and a monotube shock. Great question. Mainly advantages. Okay, so in a monotube shock, when you add a base valve, we're reducing the pressure against the divider piston, which allows us to run less gas pressure on the other side to avoid cavitation. If you want a real detailed explanation of that, in our shock seminar, which I posted to our YouTube page, I go through that in depth. But basically, the base valve allows you to run less gas pressure. For most applications with a lighter race car, if a base valve's legal, we're going to run it. So we don't build a gas micro, midget, or sprint car shock that doesn't have a base valve. Dirt modified stuff, we do build one without a base valve because certain classes don't allow it. It keeps the cost a little bit lower without the addition of a base valve. But if you're allowed to run a base valve, I would not run without it because it gives you the ability to run reduced gas pressure when the track gets slick. So, Dave, I hope they can have Vegas as well. That's always been one of my favorite events of the year. So, Cam, which is better, less or more left rear rebound clamp on a wing 360 when the track gets slick? So a little bit of a open-ended question, because if I say more, then where does that more end, right? So if we say clamp being the 0 inch per second rebound close number, so how much force it takes to get that shock moving in the rebound direction. So if I tell you 180 is better than 160, that doesn't necessarily mean that 300 is better than 180, if that makes sense. So the general answer typically is when the track slicks off, yes, we will add a little bit more rebound to the left rear. And the reason for that is when the track slicks off and you lose wing speed, we still want the car to lay left. Because in order to carry good corner speed entry to the center of the corner, the car has to have a wing down left side attitude. Now, if you have too much and you get the left side down too far, then we get the right rear out of the track and we can shear the right rear free and skate across the track. So it is a fine balance there, but typically as the track slicks off, we are going to add a little bit more rebound, but if you add too much, then you can lose the right rear. So hope that makes sense. Brad, yeah, I'm not sure. I know they did have some different stuff with their right front, but I wasn't really involved in the tuning of that. So yeah, I'm not sure what exactly they had going on. I know we've been revalving and trying some different stuff with Jason McDougall helping those guys. He's got some shock experience and certainly a lot of experience behind the wheel, so they've been experimenting and trying some different things. I wasn't super involved with their right front bump package, so I can't give a lot of feedback on it, truthfully. Anybody else have any questions? More than happy to answer them for you. And happy to be back with you guys. Episode 106 of Monday Morning Quarterback. All of these are cataloged on our YouTube page, so if you ever want to go back or look at a particular one, that's probably the easiest place to find them, so you don't have to go through a bunch of other stuff on Facebook. We have a specific Monday Morning Quarterback tab on our YouTube page, so you can see them all there. Please subscribe while you're there. Eric Long, how soft can you go on left rear? Are you talking about left rear spring? Eric's a quarter midget handler, not a driver. And so I'm assuming this is a quarter midget question. And how soft can you go? I'm assuming you mean spring. And I guess you can keep taking spring out until the car doesn't want to rotate anymore. So as you take left rear spring out in the lower horsepower classes, there definitely seems to be some speed there. That's the heaviest corner of the car, and if you're not loading the tire as hard, you're not pulling the motor down as much. However, that left rear spring helps transfer weight to the right front and load the right front to get the car to turn entry to center of the corner. So as you start to take left rear spring out, you lose some of that ability to transfer weight to the right front. So I like to take left rear spring out at tracks that got a lot of grip, bank tracks, especially in the lower horsepower Honda classes. But you just got to be careful taking too much out because then the car doesn't want to rotate. So, Dave, thanks for tuning in. It was good to see you at the IndyCar shop today. I'm not doing Indy this year. I wanted to take a step back to focus on racing with Hudson and focus on CSI. But I'm still helping those guys with some things with their dampers and different things for Dreyer Reinbold. So sad I'll be missing Indy this year for the first time in probably 10 years, but enjoying the heck out of getting to race with my little guy, and that's what's important to me right now. I've got to do I don't know, 13 or 14 Indy 500s, and never got to win it like Dave did, but maybe I'll go back and do it again someday. But for now, I'm enjoying getting to race with Hudson and focusing on things here with our customers. So if there's no other questions, we will sign off for tonight. Please share the video so your friends can see it. Facebook is good at restricting how many people get to see our posts. So the more you guys share, the more people can see. We always appreciate that. Like and subscribe our YouTube page where these are all cataloged. And next week we'll have a cool topic and we'll jump back into it. Always, if I miss your question, feel free to shoot me a DM or an email, and I will be happy to answer that for you. So thank you guys. Appreciate all the support. Hope you have a fantastic week, and hope to see you at a racetrack soon.